see why. It started on May 21st in Winchester, Virginia. Tonight, the Red Man TNT All-American Pulling Series makes its last stop of the summer season at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds in Nashville. The final point standings will be determined and the champions will be crowned. We'll be right back with our first pulling event. It's been a wild weekend of dynamite pulling here in Nashville. This is where the long summer trail of 23 events comes to a climactic finale. Here, teams from all divisions have their last chance to score points in their race for the title crown. On Friday, this classic weekend started with a hook-off among the most classic of the pulling rigs, the smokers, the super stock tractors. These are the machines that preserve the roots of the sport of pulling. In the 7500s, it's been a close race all summer, but Mark Gettinger managed to hold off Thomas Dickerson's late season run on the lead. Dickerson's 20-mule team took 3 of the last 7 events and came in #1 in the pull-off Friday night, with Gettinger's equalizer placing 6th.
Not gonna do it.
But Gettinger barely kept his lead in the point standings, taking the title by a mere 2.5 points.
Looking for the horsepower. When he dials the black, he'll be going out, trying to go on the other side at 241.7 for 20,000 simoleons. Let's see if he's going to do it.
On Saturday, Gettinger took the equalizer to yet another title victory in the 9,500 and 11,200 heavy super stocks, repeating his double crown victory of last year.
Well, Mark Gettinger, the Renegade Superstock Shootout National Championship is yours, sir.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Been working hard all summer to get it, and pretty proud to get it.
That's a nice little piece of cash you ended up with, too, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I sure was tickled that they had that to offer us super stalkers and bring out the competition.
Well, the 20,000 shootout was a good, successful thing this year, and let's hope it continues next year.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
And I bet you'll be back, too, won't you?
You bet, and I hope the fans will be, too. They are our biggest supporters, and we appreciate having them around.
Good enough. Mark Gettinger, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Hans Boxler was second in the heavyweight class, 29 points behind. Gettinger's brother Neil finished the season 3rd in the heavy super stocks and 4th in the 7,500. Today is the 3rd and final day of the competition. Championship titles will be awarded in 3 classes. The 6,200 modified 4x4. The heavyweight 9,200 and 11,200 modified tractors. And the 6,200 super modified 2-wheel drive. The fight for the crown in the 6,200 modified 4-wheel drives has been a battle of West versus East between Manuel Moreno of Texas and the father and son team from Virginia, Robert and Scott Smith. The Smiths are up now with 3 bears. 16-year-old Scott Smith is at the wheel, one of the most talented young pullers on the circuit. His dad builds them and he drives them. They were the #1 team through much of the summer until Moreno made such an impressive charge, taking the top position away from them just 4 events prior to Nashville. (282.11 feet), an excellent run for 3 bears. The Winchester, Virginia team has had another great season.
I noticed you and your dad walking up down the track here, and you were sticking the track, trying to find out the best part of traction, I think.
Yeah, my dad helps me a lot on feeling the track to feel how they bite and where they bite, and he knows a lot more about that since he's been pulling for 10 or 12 years.
Well, good luck here. We'll let you know how things come out in just a few minutes here.
Thank you very much.
Unless Manuel Moreno is disqualified or unable to make his run today for mechanical reasons, he will clinch the 4x4 title. He busted loose Friday at the opening session with the only full pull out of a field of 30 contestants. That practically guarantees him the #1 spot for the '87 season. This is Moreno's first season on the Redman TNT circuit, and for him especially, it has been a true test of endurance. Traveling out of his home base of Seguin, Texas, he's had to drive incredible distances, following pulling events all across the country. At one point in midsummer, after slipping to 4th place, he skipped a pull out of sheer discouragement. Now he has the Yellow Rose of Texas on the line for one last pull that may give him the championship title he has traveled so far to win. .278.8 feet, and enough points to secure the championship. Manuel Moreno has taken the Yellow Rose of Texas all the way.
Manuel Moreno. And Manuel, I know it started last May for you, and it ends here in Nashville this weekend. How's it feel to be the national champion?
Well, I feel great. I've never done it before, the first time, and I feel great. I want to thank TNT and Redman for giving me the chance to do it.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you down the road this winter.
Thank you, sir.
He finishes the 87 season with 487 points, 16.5 points ahead of Three Bears in 2nd place. We'll be right back after this message with a modified tractor. The modified tractor division kicked off Friday with the 7200 class. Leo Clay and the Driller have led this class since 4 events into the series. They have proved to be an unstoppable combination. Fred Freeman and the Mean Mistreater have held on to 2nd place in the 7200 since the halfway point of the season. There's not much chance he'll be able to catch the Driller now, but this is Nashville. Forget about points. There's pride on the line. The Mean Mistreater was less than 3 feet from the full pull. But the party was over for 87. Leo K and the Driller finished at the top of the 7200 modified tractor class. 29 points in front of 2nd place Fred Freeman and the Mean Mistreater. Today, most of the same pullers who hooked Friday in the 7200s are getting ready for the running of the heavyweight 5- and 6-engine modified tractors. They run the same vehicles in both classes by adding and subtracting engines and the weights from the long dragster-like frames. As we join the 9200 modified event in progress, 3 teams have qualified for the pull-off. The same teams who have dominated this class all season. Leo K and the Driller, champions in the 7200 class. Fred Freeman and the Mean Mistreater, the #2 team in the 7200s. And Tim Engler having a hot weekend in Nashville with Mission Impossible. Next up is the team whose name has become synonymous with the heavyweight modified tractors. Winners of 15 national titles, the Banter Brothers, David and Ralph, and Mr. Chevy. They're on the verge of yet another championship, but they have to get into this pull-off to do it. A fantastic full pull by Mr. Chevy. The Banter Brothers demonstrate once again the kind of power that has made them legends in the world of pulling. The field is set for a 4-way pull-off of the champions. Although he is not a contender in the point standings, Tim Engler is really putting on a show here in Nashville. He has followed up his 2 full pulls in the 7200 class on Friday and Saturday with yet another here in the 9200s. That's the kind of weekend it's been. No holds barred, full tilt power pulling. .255.9 feet. Mission Impossible with another fantastic run. Engler may not be a contender in the points this season, but he has certainly demonstrated his championship form here in Nashville.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after another excellent pull, we go over to Tim Engler here out of Princeton, Indiana, driving the Mission Impossible tractor. Tim, you're hanging in there, bud. The Arius motors sound really good.
Yeah, they did. It was an awful rough ride there. I had to kind of get on that right brake a little bit. It was kind of squirrely, but we knew we had to run our light on the front if we was going to get anywhere because the sled's really heavy, but just do the best you can. That's all you can do.
Well, you're always a tough competitor all over everywhere, and I know you've been doing a lot of pulling this summer. Are you ready for a break or not?
Oh, yeah, it's been a long, hard summer, and we're ready for a couple weeks off here, but you always be ready to go again after you get a week or two off.
Next up, Wadesville, Indiana's Fred Freeman and the Mean Mistreater. Freeman has been in the points race in the 9,200 class all season with Leo Kay and the Banter brothers. Now it's all come down to who can go the distance on one last pull. $212.2 feet. That will be enough to keep Fred in the running, but not enough to beat Leo Kay and the Banners. He'll finish this year in third place. Leo Kay won it all in the 7,200s, but he's been unable to overtake the Banter brothers in the heavyweight class. He's got one more run to close out the season, and you can bet he's going to pull out all the stops. $239.1 feet. The driller battles hard to the end. Leo Kay won't take this title crown, but he has sewn up second place. What a year it's been for him. A championship in one division and second place in the other.
Well, the series started a long time ago back in May there, and you've been struggling all along there, but doing extremely well and running the top 5 points.
Yeah, I think we ended up second in this 9, and we won the 7.
Well, congratulations on that national championship there, and we'll see you this winter somewhere down the road on the Red Man Tour.
Okay, we'll be around.
Okay, Leo Kays, ladies and gentlemen, out of Pennsylvania. Another excellent show here.
It's official. The Banter brothers have the #1 spot in their pocket for the 16th national title and their 6th consecutive national title in the 9,200, 11,200-pound class. The super-modified two-wheel drive class on the Redman TNT summer circuit has produced the most intense competition since TNT started pulling in 1979. There were 8 lead changes, the last one coming on the weekend before the final 2 hooks. Now the top contenders are ready to face off in a final showdown with precious points hanging in the balance.
Manufacturer sells some of the high-dollar clothing all over the country. Wayne Roush, distance on the
This event will decide once and for all who's #1 in '87.
2.54 and a 9 for Roush.
Although he is not a contender in the points race, you can bet he's going to give it all he's got today in Nashville. Chris Holdorf has pulled his way into the hearts of Ford fans all along the circuit. He's the self-proclaimed bad boy of pulling, and his cocky self-assurance has established him as a truly unique character. You can love him or you can hate him, but you can't ignore him. Next up is Georgia's Mike Stowe at the wheel of the Bad Dog. Mike has had an excellent season, but the lead has remained elusively just beyond his grasp. A good showing here may give him the points he needs to beat Hare or Lamont out of second place.
Well, Mike Stowe out of Georgia, I tell you what, I believe you just might have been a little light on the nose. So I think you might say that at least. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Butch, I tell you, the track's kind of hard to read, and just taking a guess at where to put the weight, and it's not really a good bite out of the hole, but when you get down here, you got a good bite, and I tried to gamble a little bit and get me a shot out of the hole there, but I was a little too light down here.
Well, I know you've been close in the points all summer long, and it's been a long, hard summer, hasn't it?
Yeah, I tell you, we rode a lot of miles, and we did real well and had some good luck, and I'm fortunate everything's still running, and I can go home and spend some time with my family now.
We will not know the final points breakdown until the event is over, but surely this run will keep Mike high in the points today. There's a fiercely tough field of competitors yet to come, the first of which is Ken Lamont in the Midnight Express. Ken started out this weekend in second place overall, but he really had to struggle all the way to make it. Midway through the season, he was down by over 30 points. Then, after that disastrous start, Lamont staged a dynamic comeback, climbing to second place, only 5 points behind leader Jim Lyon. And Mark Hare is third, only 5 points behind Lamont. That's how they came to Nashville. These last 3 pulls will determine who takes the 1979 crown in the super modified two-wheel drive. (286.8 feet). A good run for Lamont, but not as good as he would like to have had.
Ken, your impressions on that pull as you came down the track?
Real bad.
Not too satisfied with yourself this afternoon, huh?
No, the truck's got a lot more potential than what I showed here this weekend. I've been experimenting a little bit, and I should have waited till it didn't count so much like it is in this point race, but I didn't want to end up second or third. I wanted to go for the win, and to do that, you got to experiment sometimes, and I should have went with what I knew worked, but, you know, that's the only way you learn.
Mark Hare and Spike have really caused a stir in the two-wheel drives this year. He's running one of the biggest engines on the circuit, and this season has been a constant battle between Jim Lyons and him for the lead. Hare won more events than anybody this summer. In one stretch of 8 hooks, he won 5, tied for first in another, and was second twice. But Hare lost his momentum in Inwood, Ontario, finishing 12th in the double-point event. That dropped him from first to third, and that's where he stood coming into Nashville, only 10 points out of the lead. He needs to do it all today. (299.3 feet), just inches short of a full pull. But that's the best run we've seen, and it will surely give Mark Hare a big boost toward his goal of #1 in the point standings. It all depends on what Jim Lyons has up his sleeve. Jim Lyons and Stitches have dominated this class all season, but he's never been able to put Hare away. Every time Lyons seemed unbeatable, Hare came back to dog his heels, taking the lead away or harassing him from a close second. Things got even hotter for Lyons as Lamont staged his comeback late in the season. But Stitches managed to hold them off, coming into Nashville in the #1 spot, only 5 points ahead of Hare. Lyons put in a brand new 572 Rodeck prior to this weekend. Watch him run. A disappointing pull for Stitches. It looked like Stitches had the title sewn up, but he may just have lost it all on this last run. But no, the official results are in, and Jim Lyons holds on by a scant 2.5 points, become the national two-wheel drive champion for 1987.
Well, Jim Lyons, I'll tell you what, you know, I've known you for years. I feel like I grew up with you because of the drag racing, you know, and I know you got very involved in truck and tractor pulling over the last 3 or 4 years. And here you are currently sitting up on top of points and just had a real fine run. But if you could have done anything different on that run, what would you have done?
I'd have changed some weight if I did anything different, but otherwise it turned out all right. We're still going to win the points with that deal, and I'm really proud of that. All the sponsorship I've had from the Stitches, the help, they've backed me 100%. It's good. TNT's been good to us, so we really appreciate it. Red Man also.
Jim, I don't think any more can be said. Congratulations on the championship.
Thank you very much.
Lyons finishes the season with 566 points. Hare is second with 563.5. And Lamont slips to third with 559. Mike Stowe and the Bad Dog held on to fourth with 548. And there you have it, the dramatic finish to the 1987 Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series Summer Circuit.